Breathe out, hit the reset button. Even your pole setter has got the butterflies.
Xander, you and your crew have put in countless hours to be ready for this event. All the pre-race prep, the production, to get everything where it needs to be. It's been great so far. One more still to go. Everybody in the cameras are ready to rock. They are ready for this main event for Pro Shifter. How are you feeling?
Man, I'm excited. You can't not be excited here on Super Sunday. Again, a huge thank you one more time to Don't Sleep Energy Drink here. We may end up thanking them one or two more times for helping partner with us for the Super Sunday coverage. Like you said, Rob, it's been a long, hard week for the race teams. We've also been trying to match that level of work ethic on our end to put on the best show for those of you here in the paddock and for those of you watching along at home, because it deserves it. It is the best kind of racing out of all there is to find and watch and compete in motorsport, and we're getting ready to watch 25 laps of it.
I have had countless messages, DMs, people listening and watching all over the place, which I think is fantastic. Thank you so much for, number one, for watching the coverage here on Kart Chaser, being part of the extended family of the 26th running of the SuperKarts USA SuperNationals. And again, be ready for this one here, wherever you are around the country, whether it's the morning, evening, or you're just ready to go on maybe a Sunday afternoon. We are here, 4:10 local time. Sun working its way down to the horizon. We're here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, 67 degrees trackside. The crowd is ready for this one. It's time to go Pro Shifter racing.
How about that here? A crowd once again. It took a second while they moved over to catch the aftermath of X30 Pro, but everybody's trying to find a place to watch around the racetrack, down that long 1,400-foot front straightaway, or anywhere else you can find room, because it's hard to find right now. The grandstand's cleared for a little bit after X30. They filled right back up, and the fence line is once again 2, 3, 4, 5 deep as the drivers complete their first full lap under power, and the leaders will begin to make their way around the backside.
Mike, let's talk about what they're doing right now for any newbies just tuning in here. They're trying to get the heat in the tires. Talk about what you got to do and why you got to do it.
Everybody in this class has brand new Avinco red tires on here. You got to get heat into them. And these shifters, it's not just about the front tires. We talked about it last night in the LCQ. You got to get heat in the rear tires, because you've got to get that grip when you want to drop that clutch.
Indeed, the drivers working their way out of turn number 9 for the final time. We will use the grid here for shifters. We did not use it for the other categories. We started a little further down, and let's say we're done with all those. All the starts were really well done, and a good call to start further deep in the field. Here comes AJ Myers, the Floridian, now living in North Carolina, slotting himself into P1 alongside Jacob Gulick, who has had a fantastic week so far. Those coming in behind, a former world champion, Marian Kremers. He wants to win this just as much as Gulick and Myers to it. And then, of course, Emilian Denner, the Sody Kart driver, inside of row number 2.
Emilian Denner has been one of the few drivers to not have to be in first gear for most of this racetrack, because he's had so much grip in that Sody Racing USA Sody Kart. He's been hooked up, but with the extra rubber laid down, even though it's a little cooler here at the end of the day, will anyone else be able to do the same? We've seen them be just as fast as him.
Here we go, folks. The drivers will work their way out the final couple of rows coming in, and we will lock this grid down. SuperNationals 26 here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 8 races down, 1 still set to go. Those drivers coming up here right now, just the final couple of rows, inching their way into the spots. Myers on the inside, Gulick on the outside. Final drivers into position, looking to the tail of that grid to get the call. We've got it. Visors down, the front straightaway. Here we go for the final time in SuperNats 26. Green, green, green. Whole shot goes to AJ Myers.
And down in turn number 1, here we go as they get to full song. Down into the first corner. Look at the big guy all the way around the outside, but he goes a little too deep. Kremers followed him, and they're both going to fall back in front of the field. Emilian Denner, he's turned around. Talon Yuckel's involved. Dominic Foray's involved. 4 cars out of the first corner, and AJ Myers with the lead.
Just took one driver going around, Mike, and everybody climbed back on top. I'm sure we'll have a look at that again, so folks, wait. We'll get that restart for you. AJ Myers launching out quickly. Right behind him is Jacob Gulick.
Well, you expected these guys to be out front, and all you had to do was try to get through the initial bit. Danny Formal wide and handsome there, right on the outside, slots into third.
Yeah, when we see it wide, and then you had to make a correction because everything was happening on the inside of them. I'm sure they're going to rack up this start for us. We'll have a look at the replay when we can. Myers, Gulick, Formal, Vasile, and Rusciti, the top 5.
Oh, big wide run there for Vasile. Nearly lost 4th there, and he's got the pack right behind him. Here comes his fellow countryman, Remo Rusciti. It is a dirty and very cold racetrack. All these drivers were completely taken aback by the lack of grip. They all went wide in turn 1. just like the Pro X30s, except even more so. And now, let's take a look here, Rob and Mike, at that start here and what happened to Emilian Denner.
As you see, you go down here, AJ Myers again with a hole shot around the outside is Danny Formel. Look at the actually pop. There was Marian Kremers around. There's the push there. Looked like both Ital karts actually get through. Up and over, I want to say, was Jaakko on top of the 65.
And I want to say that Kremers might have drove over the back of him as Denner is a little bit as well, coming through over top. You watched Wabe around the outside for Danny Formel. A lot of chaos there. Kremers was able to continue on, but where is Kremers? TP6 now, having getting that shot early. Myers is your leader, though, just getting things underway. Couple laps in, the stretch is happening. Look who's coming, the big man, Danny Formel, able to get by into second spot. So it is right now Myers and Formel, Gulick, Ruscitti, and Vasile, your top 5 drivers. How about a couple of Americans, a Canadian, the Costa Rican in the top 4?
And again, of all the talent in this grid, to have 3 drivers from the Pro Tour up front battling for the win is incredible. Look at Formel, high, low, he's trying to set him up. Myers is going to cover it off down in turn number 1. We've got a fight on our hands as they make contact on 2.
Remember when we were talking to Formel, he said how hard it was to follow. Right there, a difference in gear shift, a difference in timing. Formel actually into the back of him again right there. Very, very close. All 3 with a blanket over the top.
I just feel like Formel knows he's got good speed and wants to go by. The 3 of these drivers could pull away right now and probably just battle it out amongst themselves for the rest of the race. Myers is already going to cover off the bottom as Formel dialing things in. A 3-time winner here at the SuperNats, a couple in the S1 category, 1 in KZ. Could he become one of the 4-time winners? Here comes Formel around the outside. He is getting big. The Rolls Performance Group driver, not quite there. And right there is the most interested spectator, Jacob Gulick.
Yeah, Jacob Gulick continuing to watch and learn a little bit, although he's beaten both of these drivers here this year. And now as they come out of turn number 3, you can see while they continue to battle, the group behind is still way back because they're continuing to fight as well. Kremers got through. We talked about Kremers going over top of potentially part of that crash. Remo Ruscitti was the guy that got sandwiched in the middle 3 wide as Denner tried to come back down. Didn't know that they were 3 wide, and he got spun in front of the field.
3-second advantage the top 3 have over 4th place Kremers. However, the full defense and the full fight is going to bring them right back into the game.
And here comes Formel again, trying to keep him pinched down. He's thinking about going over-under. Formel's trying to get by, really putting the pressure on AJ Myers because they have that gap, but this is not what you would expect out of a group up front with lots of time. They got to watch out for Marian Kremers coming. Last time by, Kremers quicker by about 3 to 4/10 of a second. Yeah, he's back by 2.7 from Gulick, but these guys got to settle in right now and pull away.
You said a confident AJ Myers is a dangerous AJ Myers. He doesn't look that confident to be defending this hard early. He probably is still waiting on that kart to come in and is not sure if it's going to come in enough where he could run back down Danny Formel by lap 25. So he's trying to hang on.
Xander, fantastic point. We've talked about that all day, Mike. How good is your kart going to be late? Here comes Formel trying to look to the inside. Inches away, maybe a couple centimeters away from the wall on the right side.
You see when they go by there and you can see the dust come off. It is dirty on the inside, so you go down to the inside to cover. You will have dirt on the tires, not as much braking power into the corner.
We're going to keep an eye on AJ Myers as he put down a personal best here pretty soon. We got 6 laps in to a 25-lapper, a long way to go. Is he just biding his time with a kart that may be a bit of a handful right now? Formel looked a lot better out of the gate with those more bright gloves. We can kind of see the work he's not doing on that kart, doing a tremendous job there in the RPG Vortex-powered Cosmic. Out front, though, it's Myers of the Magic, Formel, of course, on the Cosmic, and Gulick on the GFC. Then we've got the Barrel ART of Kremers, and we're sitting in the ITEL kart.
We were talking about in the previous races from AJ Myers when he's been his fastest, he's been able to arc things in, but he's been having to keep things tight, trying to keep Formel back. I think that Magic Kart wants to arc in. Formel to the other side, crossover coming. Here comes Formel, he's on the curb. Here comes Gulick. They're going to go stay in line here. Wow, close one for Formel.
They better watch out because you know who's coming from behind there right now. Marian Kremers has closed up to 1.8. He's gained a second right there. There's Kremers. Look how much closer he is. A little more wide open coming into the corner there for Myers, but Kremers is pushing, and Ruscitti has a battle here right now with Matteo Vajano.
Vigano getting closer as Formal is going to need to get really creative. He already tried to put the bumper to Myers once. Does he try it anymore here in this one? Myers blows the corner. Danny Formal to the lead on a turn number 2.
There it is right there. You got to put the pressure on to have the mistake come. Here comes Gulick. He'll go to the inside as well. He'll root Myers a little bit. Can he finish it up? No, they're beating on each other. Formal's going to get a big lead here. We saw this already in X30 Senior. Can Formal pull away in the RPG Cosmic?
And Kramer's not going to wait. As soon as he gets there, he's going to attack because he sees Formal in the distance.
Indeed that. Here he comes right there. Good shot to the rear there of Gulick for Kremers. That'll hurt his run out of the corner just a little bit. But behind there, Rusiti, Vigano, Hilpren, Vasile, Musgrave, and Wick rounding out your top 10. Wick up 10 spots to 10th.
Gulick gets rooted out of the way. Kremers trying to close the door. He gets through. Another bump and run. This time Morin gets through to third. 2 drivers fighting for their first career SuperNationals victory. Kremers has been the bridesmaid more times than once, and he is tired of it. He wants to get through. He says, I've got no time left to waste.
If AJ Myers takes a look over his shoulder and knows I think he just did it. He knows he can open things up. That magic heart works when he can open up. There it is. Opens it up. He's able to get straighter sooner. That's when his kart's the fastest.
So maybe the turning point of the race. Let's have a look. Let's re-look right now at that pass for Danny Formal as he makes a move, comes to the inside. Watch the issue for Myers.
He keeps it outside. He left the door wide open. I'm not sure if he just went a tick deeper when he got on the brakes a little harder. Maybe that thing just understeered a little on him.
That's what I can agree with you on that. And then there's Gulick coming back to the inside. He gets up over the curb, a little bit into the side, and that shakes everything up. And then the kind of payback there over in turn number 4, and that's what brings Kremers in, allows him to get by Gulick. So Formal, Myers, Kremers. When have we seen these guys battle together? Like all year long.
All year long. You got the FIA World Champ, the FIA European Champ, multi-time SuperNats winners here, and the top 4 are 4 drivers we've seen all year long. The top 5 drivers we've seen all year long in the Pro Tour here, running well on the streets at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As we go down to turn number 1, Kremers way back and clear. Morin Kremers gets through for second.
Mike, what do you think? That's the second time he's had trouble. This time Myers going to go try to the bottom. He'll cover down. You can see that Kremers ran the low line into the corner. That stacks things up. That's going to bring everybody back in. This feels like a carbon copy of X30 Pro, which allowed Padilla to get away. And another RPG driver, Formal, starting to stretch away 1.4 out.
We know the Magic Cart wants to go wide, but that was just really far out there. Just left the door wide open for Kremers. Kremers takes it, says thank you very much.
Well, again, like you said, guys, here, he thought he had a bigger gap. He didn't think Morin would send it in there. He was trying to start to make up some time on the big guy. As we get past the halfway mark here, 12 down, 13 to go. Morin Kremers about center track in turn number 1, but able to hit his marks, and even with the pass, didn't lose all too much time. 2 seconds back to the big guy up front here as this Trupa 3 is now getting hunted down by 2021 SuperNats winner Matteo Vigano.
And Kyle Wick just turned the fastest lap. He's 5 seconds back. We're watching Pedro Hilpren come through here as well. But purple lap for Kyle Wick. Here's the fight again. AJ Myers has got to get back on his horse because it's a 2-second lead for Danny Formal out front. Could we see another one of these runs where a guy pulls away? Big fight further back, 5th on back. You see how many drivers are there. Crossed halfway flags this time by 13 down to 13 to go. Wick is on the move.
Wick is on the move, and a lot of drivers there trying to get settled in because we've just started the second half of the race. Personal best out of P2, P3, but they're still just a tick slower than your leader Formal.
Yeah, this is a big run for Danny Formal out front in the RPG Cosmic, that Vortex-powered machine, as he has got a nice, comfortable lead of over 2 seconds. Kremers, though, trying to lock things back in, Mike.
Remember what we saw in Master Shifter. Musser way out there, had that thing tuned up, but 4A was able to get him back. It still has lots of time here, but these guys got to make hay.
Morin Kremers is one of the best guys on tire wear when it comes to long run here. Look at this. What a midfield scrap in the middle of that Trefilov. Top 10 starter Luis Speck, Kyle Wick, now up to 8th for Kyle Wick on the black and white GFC.
Wow, what a run for him.
Man, what a run to go forward as the lead stays the same. 2 seconds. Kremers, oh, big contact, turn 1. George, or one of the Inter MS Kart Republics.
Luis Speck.
And Luis Speck involved. And I don't know if that was Carrara or it might have been further back like Ippolito. I would imagine Ippolito. They were right around each other.
Potentially correct. Yeah, those are the drivers who were running on track. They were 13th and 14th respectively, Xander. So both those drivers getting another coming into that turn number 1 combination. There's a little further back. And this is what we're seeing here for Kyle Wick. He is now continuing to push. Wick trying to work his way forward. Where is he coming across the line now? He continues to make hay. Wick is pushing hard here now. There's a move to the inside, and AJ Myers getting roughed up now a little bit here, fighting it out with Gulick. They're side by side, and Gulick's gone around. Gulick has gone around, and look at that damage on the driver fairing. They got a little bit of argy-bargy.
Those guys are leaning on each other all the way from 1 to going into 3, and they didn't give it up. Gulick, up, done, that's it.
Wow, that's going to move Wick, Musgrave, Rusciti all up another spot, Vigano as well. And again, there's the 217 of Vigano. He is closing up on AJ Myers. All the stuff that has happened with AJ Myers, a shot at trying to get this race win going by the wayside. Formal out to 2.3 seconds last time by. Danny Formal went purple on lap number 16. This guy is out front and running. What a day it's been for Rawlson Performance Group.
This is Formal versus Kremers right now. These guys have open air. It's who can go faster. Right now, the gauntlet is being thrown down. Formal, the man to beat.
No doubt about that. That's the fight right there for 3rd and 4th. AJ Myers, Matteo Vigano. Again, that former winner here at the SuperNats on the Charles Leclerc chassis. That is for the fight for 3rd. Again, watching the fight for 5th as well. Remo Rusciti and Billy Musgrave. There's a move to the inside. Vigano in turn 9. Book it. Myers goes back again. Move Vigano up into 3rd.
As they go side by side out on the back, front straightaway, Myers powers around the outside of Matteo Vigano, and he gets back the 3rd spot. An awesome scrap here, but again, one driver that should have been in this top 3 fight and is not is Jacob Gulick. Let's take a look at the replay here, Mike.
Oh, that's the wrong direction, boys.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. We'll keep our eye on the battle on the racetrack for now. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Into turn number 1. Gulick from way back down the inside. Even a broken bumper there. You can see the pushback was in, and then they start banging tires.
It was the exact same thing as what had happened before, and here you're going to watch it. Tire smoke. Boom, 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 and there it is. You're going to lean on each other. Eventually, it's open wheel, man. We're going to hit tires, and that's exactly what happened. But it was the same thing in turn number 1. Exact same thing. 3 times now Myers has been under fire. Move to the inside.
Vigano down the inside. Myers climbs up on the curb. Can't over-under. Matteo Vigano goes to 3rd as Myers continues to fade backwards. Marin Kremer still in no man's land in 2nd while Formal leads, this time by Rob. 6 to go.
During this battle we're watching for 3rd, the replays we're watching, the laps continue to tick away. Only 7 laps remaining now. 2.4 seconds to lead for Danny Formal. Kremers, Myers there. Vigano rather, we know, now up to 3rd. Myers back to 4th. Remo Rusciti still holding on to P5 and a great scrap right now as he's right there. Kyle Wick, though, the man on the move. He is close back up. Wick trying to see if he can't go into the top 5. He is plus 14. Kyle Wick hunting down Remo Rusciti.
And Remo Rusciti, unfortunately, it is a story he knows all too well. A good start, a good jump, and no speed. Might be suffering some damage from that turn 1 crash with Emilian Denner, but he has just been fighting for dear life here to stop from going backwards and hold on to his good starting position inside the top 10. Giorgio Carrara is closing in as well.
Remember how fast Kyle Wick was going away one of his heat races, and then the chain breaks, and he's done. He goes to the back. He's had to been able to dig out of this the entire time. We know he's fast, and look at him come off the corner with speed.
I'm going to say we could have a pass down in turn number 1 because if Rusciti leaves the door open, watch for Wick, who just went purple. Kyle Wick just went purple again. Let's see if he sets it up coming down. Maybe an over-under, just trying to get the best run he possibly can. Giorgio Carrara right there behind him. Musgrave 8th up 4. Hiltbrand up 9. David Trefilov up 17. Xander 27th to 10th.
Long run forward for the SRP Marinella USA factory driver as Davide Fore gets turned around down in turn number 1, way back in the field. The Italcar driver, unfortunately, a mixed bag, a win and master shifter, but he will not finish here in pro, and that's going to be yellow when they get back down the straightaway if they don't get clear quick enough, and Foray is not helping quick enough. He's walking slowly as the leader is literally coming into turn number 1. Davide Foray just casually strolling to the outside of the racetrack, and we stay yellow, so no passing opportunity for Kyle Wick.
4 laps remaining. It's a 3-second lead for Danny Formal. He just signed a contract to go racing in GTD with Wayne Taylor Racing and Andretti Global to Lamborghini, so a huge opportunity for him to go IMSA racing in 2024. What a little exclamation point to a tremendous week if he walks away with a 4th win here at the SuperKarts USA SuperNationals, joining a very, very elite group right now. Again, coming by. 3 laps to go, 22 down, 3 remain.
Myers still trying to get back to third. Kyle Wick trying to break onto the box as Formel takes us over to turn number 2. Here they come, coming out of the corner, going back there to find this big group led by Remo Ruscetti. And again, we talked about Formel. For Maureen Kremers, it's got to burn again. Bridesmaid, it is just not the day for Maureen Kremers here. He'll have to wait another year, it looks like, as we're coming in out at 2 to go at the line.
You're right. How many times did he finish second? 2 already. A third opportunity to finish second for Kremers. It's going to hurt for him, but he's going to want this one. Formal, though, 2 to go this time by. There's your gap between first and second. There's third and fourth, Vagano and Myers. And then, of course, Ruscetti doing everything he can to hold back a charging Kyle Wick. Here comes Wick. He's on him right now here. We'll see the white flag this next time by. Can Wick get the job done and go P5? No, Ruscetti covering down the bottom.
Keep an eye on Billy Musgrave, 4th one in line, catching his group. He might be able to make something happen as well.
And again here for the big guy, Danny Formel up front as they continue to fight over to turn number 3 and turn number 4. Formel was texting me the moment the track layout came out because he's been struggling on top end speed all year with that Vortex power plant. He said, are you kidding me? I look forward to this race 12 months of the year. I wait for this race, not my GT racing, not any other race in the world, but the SuperNats. And we get a long straightaway. I'm screwed. And here he is with 1 to go.
This is it, the final lap for Formel. You watch him go down to the airbox to try to choke that down limit, try to take care of that machinery. He's got 3.3 seconds to lead. We'll key on Formel right now. Like I said, it's been a huge day for Rollison Performance Group. And watching further back the battle as well, Formel to join the group of 4-time winners. What a fantastic performance it has been. He works his way through the final couple of corners, down to turn number 9. Count him, 4-time. Danny Formel wins in Pro Shifter. Formel victorious at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Second goes to Kremers, third Vagano, fourth Myers, and Remo Ruscetti able to hold off the challenge from Kyle Wick. Trefilov up 20, Wick up 14. What a run for sure. Vasile 8th, Hiltbrand 9th. Musgrave rounds out the top 10. Ryan Norberg up on the fence. There he is, folks. What a move. The donuts are happening from Danny Formel. He is a 4-time winner of the SuperKarts USA SuperNationals, and he's going to the fence.
Danny Formel is fired up. Let some noise, crowd. He is fired up. Danny Formel in front of the suites is a SuperNats champion again in dominant fashion in Pro Shifter. He had to get his elbows out. There's the congratulations from Davide Fore. Danny Formel fired up here, and again, what a run.
Xander, it is so hard to win this race. We've talked about the fact we've never had a repeat winner in the Pro class, Pro X30, to be able to win this race. How hard you work for Danny Formel. There was the show of emotion, and there's the show of sportsmanship.
And again, Maureen Kremers there congratulating. You saw him just barely out of the corner of the screen put his head in his hands. He has been so close, and unfortunately today is not his day. It is the big guy's day, and he's not done celebrating, fans. He is pumped up. Danny Formel, SuperNats champion.
I'll tell you, neither David Cole or I picked him to be the winner in the top 5, so that's it, Danny. You can feel free. I'm buying you a cocktail tonight. That was amazing. Danny Formel, the RPG crew down here, ripping it up in the Turn 1 grandstands, and indeed the 237, the winning number here today. There's A.J. Myers as well. Formel, Kremers, Vagano, Myers, and Ruscetti. What a tremendous drive. Let's send it down right now. Let's get an interview with Danny Formel.
Danny, you joined the 4-time Winners Club here at the SuperNats. You are absolutely pumped up. Tell us the emotions right now, but I have a pretty good guess of what they are.
No top 5 for me? No top 5 for me? Yeah, that's what I thought. The go-kart was unbelievable. RPG, OTK, Cedric, my mechanic Mike, Alberto, everyone under the tent. It was driving itself. You know, I could do 41.8. Driving like easy. The go-kart was just insane. The power was other level. You know, four-time SuperNats winner, 2-time KZ winner. Ecstatic. I'm leaving in about 3 hours to Rome for a Lambo race, but I don't think the emotions I'm feeling right now is going to be beat anytime soon.
Take us through that battle with A.J. Myers. It looked like you had a couple of opportunities to pass him. You finally figured it out. Were you just waiting back there, or did you know when you were going to be able to make the move?
Like I said, the power was out of this planet. I could, A.J. had a longer gear than me, so it was hard to pass him on the straight, but he made a small mistake here in the braking zone in turn 1, and I took full advantage of it. Then I kind of hurt someone, tried to pass him in turn 2. He gave me a nice little gap, but the go-kart was just faster than everyone else's, so I was able to pull away. I feel bad for Emilian Denner. He crashed in the first lap. It would probably been a good fight. But, hey, I'm the winner. RPG's the winner. OTK, Vortex, the only one on the grid, and we took the win. So thank you, everyone here, and, yeah, ecstatic.
Danny Formal, your 2023 SuperNats Pro Shifter Champion.
There's the big hug from Tom Kutcher here. Here's a look at the donuts, popping some wheelies. Danny Formal here, of course, fired up in the RPG Cosmic Group. You cannot have a better day than that. KA Senior winner, Pro X30, 1-2 Pro Shifter winner. And for the first time, I think in a while, if not ever, a team has swept the headline main events. I have to think back a little bit for it, but we'll wait for David Cole to come up and check the math on that one. I might be a little off, but it's been some time, Mike.
Absolutely. RPG has been strong and actually just ended the year the best way you possibly can. We talk about, a body of work throughout the weekend. How about a body of work throughout the year? You're working, like Danny just said, or you said about Danny, always thinking about this race. 12 months he waits for it. Here it is. Did exactly what we needed to do and finished on top.
We've heard from Danny here. Let's hear as David Land, I believe, is standing by, and we'll send our cameraman over to Marin Kremers, who unfortunately isn't able to go to the top step, but for once again, he's in the hunt, in the fight, and had one bad fast beer alert. Dave?
Yeah, Marin, the storyline continues. Another second place. What are the emotions right now?
It's just disappointing, we were fast all week, but just missing just that little bit to really drive away from these guys. And I had a bad jump, almost crashed at the start in turn 1, and then from then on the race was basically lost. By the time I got to second, Danny had a huge gap. I think I ran similar times to him for a while, but I saw I wasn't closing, and basically gave up with 5 to go because I knew Danny's not going to put it in the ball by himself, no matter how much pressure you put on him. So I just conserved, got second. Not happy with that, obviously, but we'll try again next year.
There's always next year for Marin Kremers.
Thank you, Dave. And again, Marin Kremers, one of the best in the world, former world champ here. He's now a 2-time SKUSA Pro Tour champion, but unlike in 2022, he didn't end up getting a main event win in 2023, but he has been in the hunt on the podium all the time. A.J. Myers on the Factory Magic Kart was in contention all race there, and in a heavy-handed battle, obviously, all the way through. David, we'll go down to hear from the other end of the top 5 across the line.
AJ, we see it on your face. We saw it out on the track. I don't even have to ask a question, I don't think. Tell us your side of the whole race.
Yeah, I got the whole shot I wanted to. After that, I was just hanging on for dear life. It just seemed like I didn't have any grip the whole time. I held him back for a little bit. Once he got by, I wasn't coming back at him. Kremers got by. Gulick and me went side by side. From my perspective, he just straight chopped into me, put me in the air, almost took us both out. I guess gladly he took himself out. But after that, I was hanging on and, yeah, disappointed. But, God, I wanted it. But Danny drove a great race. He deserves it.
A very humble A.J. Myers in the face of defeat.
Thank you, David. And again, A.J. Myers, you talk about a confident A.J. Myers, the dangerous A.J. Myers, not close enough. Matteo Vigano, Remo Ruscetti, just kind of hanging in the mix all the way through. Remo crosses the line P5, Vigano P3 there. What a good run once again for the former SuperNats winner. Remo Ruscetti is going to walk away with another top 5 and a good finish. Let's go down to our third place finish here and former SuperNats winner who ends up with a PSL karting 2-3, Dave.
Yeah, that was an exciting one. P3, did you think you could get a little bit more, or was P3 all she wrote today?
Yeah, honestly, it was. I knew it was going to be a hard final. I tried my best the first laps to try to avoid the traffic and put myself in a good position. Then I saw the first group already a little bit far away, so I tried to set myself to the minimum goal that was the podium.
It sure looked like there was a lot of contact out there, a lot of argy-bargy, as we say. How do you avoid some of that when guys are running into each other? How do you keep a cool head in that sort of situation?
I don't know, honestly. In the first laps, many things happen very fast, and I try to avoid as much as possible any contact. And also, a luck is a big part of this in the first laps. You need everything.
Good stuff. Hey, Charles Leclerc is on the podium in Vegas. Maybe that's a sign of things next week.
Hopefully here, Dave, as we now have the drivers beginning to make their way over towards the podium. I believe they are still in race control, checking things out right now, so we have not gotten the official word on where the rest of the lineup is. Of course, you'd imagine Danny Formal, no contact on his pass by A.J. Myers, probably good all the way through. But Kyle Wick, what a weekend here it was. Second in qualifying after the re-rack. He's got a big cheering section in the crowd that came all the way out from Auburn, Washington area to come and cheer him on. And he ends up crossing the line pretty good there, Dave.
Yeah, if we had a straw poll, I think you'd win most popular driver. I know that's not the same as a SuperNats P1 trophy, but, I mean, you put on a heck of a show for all these fans of yours.
Yeah, it was a really crazy race. I feel like we probably had good pace, just got in a few tangles. The kart was bent on the start, and then the axle was bent. Just kept going, kept my head down, and gave it everything I had.
With the adversity earlier in this week, are you still satisfied with this result, or is it gnawing away at you that, yeah, I could have won this thing?
Yeah, it's definitely, we could have won it, but we'll be back next year.
That's a prediction from Kyle Wick, one of the biggest movers and certainly the most popular driver in the stands.
Yeah, Kyle Wick again comes up close. He picks up 14. Bigger mover was David Trefilov on that SRP Factory Maranello. He picked up 20 spots to go all the way from way out deep in the field to 7th here as the sun begins to set in Las Vegas. Henry joining us back in the booth here. Your thoughts on that Pro Shifter final?
Oh, an incredible race. Some fantastic skill. It was as close as we thought in terms of the action. I know that Danny Formal ended up a bit of a runaway winner, but that doesn't detract from what an exciting event it was. And when I spoke to Danny and I said, you know, about are you still going to be allowed to go karting with a new contract? He said, of course, it's written into my contract because karting keeps me sharp. I've got to say, if I was an IMSA driver, I had to race Danny next year, I'd be very, very worried indeed. But Kremers, a world-class field, a world-class top 10
and
there
look at that there
end.
of Emilian Denner. What your race to be over in the first corner for the driver that started fourth. Unfortunately for the Sodi Racing USA driver. We'll get a lot more post-race interviews here, but first up, Rob Howden will send it down to you. We have just gotten the official results. Everything is locked in, and it is officially official. Before they go to tech, the big guy, Danny Formal, is your winner here as he begins to make his way over to the podium. Rob will take it down to you.
Thank you so much, Xander, bringing over the drivers here who have made their way to the top 5 as they ran on track. They did a couple of video reviews, but essentially the on-track 5 that we saw was the official results coming in before tech, as we had said. We'll get everybody locked over here at the podium to cap off SuperNationals 26. Drivers taking an opportunity to chat it up a little bit, as you see. Tom Kutcher joining us over here as well. We'll get the trophies out and ready to go. It is time to cap the award presentation for the drivers here in the Pro Shifter category. Finishing in 5th spot, doing a tremendous job to hold off the Lions behind him. Remo Rashitti ends up in the 5th position. P5 for Remo. Finishing in 4th spot today, number 228, A.J. Myers. Myers, P4. Drivers putting on a show for us for certain. Finishing in 3rd, former winner here, number 217, Matteo Vagano. A race win is coming down the pipe sooner or later for this former champion. This guy is a badass. P2 here today. Martin Kremer, 2nd in Pro Shifter. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an elite group, an elite club of 4-time race winners, Kip Foster, Connor De Felipe, and Billy Musgrave. We will add another name to this honored list. He wins his 4th Super National for RPG, Danny Formal. What a great run for Danny Formal. Got out front, put the laps down, had the gap he needed, and was able to pull away. We'll put Al onto the top of the box here. And he knows what goes on with the helmet. That is part of Super Nationals lore. You win the Super Nat, you take home the big cash. You leave your helmet into the collection of SKUSA's Tom Cut. So that'll be a prized possession for Tom, as he has with so many of the champions over the last number of years who have donated that helmet into the collection as part of Super Kart's USA history. So again, the top 5 drivers, of course, hard cash as well, as we know, for the drivers coming in here as well. Big money for finishing on the podium. Again, the drivers have a gentleman agreement that they're not going to spray each other with champagne. They've got flights to catch. Vagano's flights to catch. I think Formal might as well. But indeed, the celebration will continue long into the night. Many of the drivers here today that were able to get ultimate victory. Top 3 drivers in the champagne, guys. Have at it. Grip it and rip it. Celebration time. The champagne flying, and that caps off our final podium. Guys, what a race it was. Danny Formal becomes 4-time champion. Great racing, of course, of Vagano and Kremers. But guys, this one's done. A gorgeous sunset here at the Las Vegas Motor Speed. I'll put you back up there momentarily, but wow, great stuff down here in Victory Lane.
Hang on there, Danny. Don't fall here as the sunset begins here. A gorgeous sunset on a day with no red flags, no full course yellows, for a track that many were very concerned with the high speeds and some of the light poles around the circuit. The racing, for the most part, good. A bit spread out for the leader by the end of the X30 and the Pro Ship remains, but overall, a pretty solid end here to the day in our SKUSA Super Nationals 26. So